guys, it's Brandon Childs, and today I'm going over an exercise called the Adductor Side Plank. Now this is a side plank variation that's going to work the inside of your leg or the adductor, which is really important for helping to prevent sciatica pain, because if you're someone that has a lot of external rotation at your knee, you're overusing your glute and the side of your leg here, which is where that pain comes from. So you want to strengthen the inside of your leg to even it out and balance so that you're not overworking the outside. And this is also going to help protect you against any kind of knee injuries when you're changing direction and things like that. Now you don't need any equipment for this exercise, but you do have the option of elevating your foot on a bench, a couch, a step, or something later on that I'll explain how to do. So all you're going to do is basically set up like you would a regular side plank. Shoulder right over top the elbow, lifting the hips up. The only difference is now, instead of balancing through the bottom foot using the oblique, you're going to be using the top foot to balance using the inside of your leg or your adductors. So you're going to start off like this, hips up as high as you can. Relax this knee down. Always make sure that your hips are pushed forward. You don't want to be crunched forward like that, rounding at the back using your hip flexors. Keep the hips forward so that you get some support from your glutes. Then all you're going to do is lift this knee up. And starting off, you can just work on holding and then bringing the knee down just to get used to firing this muscle, because if it's your first time doing it and engaging your adductor muscles, it's going to feel very uncomfortable. But start off just teaching yourself how to use those muscles. Once you get a little more comfortable and warmed up, keep the knee up. Now bring the hips down and lift up. So now you're engaging these muscles through a very small range of motion in order to transition to more functional activities. And again, really focus on keeping this hip forward and not rounding at the front. Now, as I mentioned before, you have the option to elevate your foot. However, if you do, start off with your knee on the surface like this first. If you start off with your leg straight, it's going to put a very big strain on your leg, and I don't want you to injure yourself. So start off with the knee like this, good 90 degrees. Bottom foot can be straight if you have a bench, or it can be bent, whatever you want, however you need to make a space. Just keep the hips forward, just like before. And the same thing as before, you want to make sure that you just lift the knee first and hold, and just get used to using this inner thigh muscle. Now the difference between elevating your leg is now when you do lift up using your inner thigh, you still have to use a little bit more of your oblique now because you're a little bit higher up, so now you're working your inner thigh with your oblique. So that's the benefit of doing it on an elevated surface. And just like before, once you get a little more comfortable and warmed up, keep the knee up. Now you bring the hips down and lifting the hips up. So now you're working this adductor, inner thigh, along with this oblique together. And then the most advanced version of this, again, make sure you've warmed up the other two versions first. Having the legs straight on the side of the bench like this, starting with the hips up as you can, same as before. Just start off lifting the leg up, and because your leg is straight, you're going to feel a lot more of a strain all the way down to your knee joint, which is not a bad thing if you warmed up already, but you don't want to start off with this because it could probably be too much strain for your legs. Again, don't want you to injure yourself. So hips up, practice bringing the knee up. Then when you're comfortable, hips down, hips up. And it's going to be very challenging from this hip all the way down to your knee, but it's going to really strengthen those muscles together in order to help protect yourself from any kind of injuries later on when you're out doing functional things like playing sports, running around like that. Again, groin strains suck. I've had one. You don't want them, so definitely add this to your routine to prevent them. Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or requests, make sure you leave them in the comments so that I can continue to make content that will bring out your ultra instinct.